A deep, deep passion, a real obsession, if you will, ugly medieval babies. You must be thinking, teacher, why are you talking about ugly medieval babies? Well, because first, they are really ugly. Second, they reveal things about medieval times and the control of the Catholic Church over everything, including what kind of art could be produced. Take a look at these boys. Also, I am going to mute everyone because here is a rule. When I'm speaking, you can't be speaking. It's kind of fun. But you have many chances to speak, and you can use the chat at any time. And I can read the chat and be like, yo, Ian just said something really cool, and we're going to do this together. And it is going to, like, this is my favorite class. Why? Because we are going to break down human history together. Really, we're going to talk about everything. The good, the bad, the ugly. So it is going to be fun. Use the chat, but don't spam it. That means do not say a bunch of stuff in the chat, and when you like that is not really a question or a comment that is constructive. Also, let's go to, also you can totally unmute yourselves and speak when you think is appropriate, but you know, I'm counting on you to feel me. You know, you're gonna feel the situation. That is actually a really great guess. For a really long time, that's what I thought it was. As we're gonna see today, there are two major forests in Brazil, the Amazon forest and the Atlantic forest. And I thought it was because of our natural beauties, right? So I was like, okay, the green is because of our forest, the blue is because we have the biggest underground reservoir in the world for water. It's called the Aquífero Guarani. And I thought the yellow was because, well, we have a lot of mangoes. But no, actually, it's none of that. We've seen 4 elements of the Brazilian flag. All of them are things that have nothing to do with Brazil or the Brazilian people. Brazilian people have, with reason, been feeling excluded from a lot of their country's government. We have another Brazilian in the house apparently, so woo-woo! Brazil! Go Brazil!
Brazil.
Yeah. Remember, movies are audiovisual. By inserting small details, we can learn about the characters we love. Just think about any character. Batman, for example. He lives surrounded by darkness all the time in a huge mansion. From those details you get, well, this is a very basic characteristic, but still, you get an idea of what kind of person he is, what matters to him, what is life like for him. Or in Tangled, for example, the example we just saw, take a look at the painted lights that Rapunzel has. It is clear that she thinks about this all the time, and then she cares. Just think of Milo from Atlantis. My favorite Disney character. Well, he has a room filled with information on ancient culture, surrounded by books. We know who Milo is. We don't need to hear him say, oh, I study many cultures. We know this because of the details in the scene. So yeah, use those visuals in your film. Let's say that the planet Earth has been bombed, and aliens are arriving in our living rooms, and they don't really understand what's going on. They're like, okay, what is happening here? I don't know anything about this culture. I don't want to listen to the actual humans that are left because I think they're barbarian, and I don't care what they have to say, and I don't understand them. So I'm gonna have some conclusions here. What do you think the aliens would say? I think this is an altar, right? Because it is where people sit down and look at this strange object that I cannot understand. I wonder, what is this? Probably witchcraft. I mean, that would be their conclusion. I think they would be like, barbaric. Throughout history, we have people that have been dedicated to really trying to guess what's going on, but without context. One thing that unites us all is that all humans have wondered Where do we come from? This is something that goes through every human's head at some point in their lives. And of course, the answers that humans have come up with are very different. Every culture, every corner of Earth has a different answer to where do we come from and what is the best way to live right here on this beautiful, beautiful Earth. We are going to take a look at different ways in which humans try to communicate with whatever is up there in the stars. Our first stop is going to be in Cambodia. Hello, fellow kids. Welcome to the Sailboat series, where we deep dive into classics of literature, attempting to answer the question, what's special about them? This week, we are going to travel to the roaring 20s, the drama, the fabulous descriptions, the excess, the movie adaptations of The Great Gatsby. This is my graduation dress. That is how you use it a second time. Hey, hello everyone, and welcome to Theater for Young Performers. It is so good to be here. I am so excited. I hope you guys are in it. We are going to travel today through one of the most important assets in the actor's toolbox. We are going to be talking about voice. And these assumptions will be important because, as we're going to see, we don't have enough time to give your audience everything they need to know about the character. We often don't know the character's parents, we don't know their background, we don't know where they're from, we don't know why they talk like this. They just need to give us, with very little, a lot of information. So today we are going to discuss what are the different variations in someone's voice, from a beautiful princess all the way to a really dirty and scary witch. What are the things that compose your voice? Your passions, your background, the people in your life, stories that happen to you. I want you to take a moment and think about what your head would look like if you had to represent it visually. You have to write about things that you know and things that you love. If I just start creating something about astrophysics, I am not going to be amazing at it because I don't know anything about astrophysics. So I would have to add that to my brain space. I would have to research about astrophysics, learn a bunch, and then make sure that that can be included into my wonderful universe. Does that make sense? No one has the same universe as you. That's my point. No one has the same beautiful mess inside their head. And they are really scary. They knew that today was a special day. Is it end of the year? Is it end of the year? Okay, so we are presenting the ingredients of our recipe, okay? Where are we? We are in the savannah. Who's participating? All the animals. All of them. And they all know that it is a special day. Does that make sense? That is how you get people into your story. And that is how, even though you don't have, you're not a movie director, you don't have all those amazing tools to create a visual story, you can create that visual story in people's heads. You can make them feel it. For example, you can describe the lion's roar when all the animals are gathered. Those details are incredibly powerful. I see that Emily is like, I got the roar down. Like, and that is exactly the spirit. The story of the first mummy. Isis and Osiris were in love, and he was not happy about Osiris and Isis being together. So Osiris was killed by Set. Isis lost the love of her life. You see, Set, he cut Osiris to pieces, and Isis placed all the pieces together, wrapping them around like a mummy. Ra, the god amongst the gods, was seeing Isis suffering, so he sprayed the breath of life onto Osiris, so Osiris, the first mummy, could live again. It's a story of love and tragedy, and you see, Osiris had to live away from Isis because he was now the god of the dead.